So let's continue with another question from Josh. I found it very interesting. It's also connected to our place here because we are in Vienna, and it's about Sigmund Freud's concept, which is the trias of id, ego, and superego. So I'm sure you know about this. Id is the lower part, which is the libido and all the animal instincts, all the hunger and stuff, and then ego, which is like the self in a way in terms of Freud and control, and then superego, which is societal norms, societal ideas imposed also, and cultural stuff. And Josh's question was whether this, first of all, whether you even like buy into this idea yourself, or even as a psychotherapist, and then second, if this trias does not dissolve in awakening, as there is no unconscious triggering the conscious and no superego directing the ego or something, because it all is one.
Yeah, well, that's a structure that Freud developed to understand human psychology. Those things don't really exist in a reified sense. I mean, there's no actual superego that you can find anywhere, or ego, or id, what you were calling libido, the id. But we can feel those forces in themselves. I mean, if I see a certain kind of woman walk by me on the street, I'll have a sex fantasy. It's just like automatic. That's the id. It doesn't care about what society thinks about some guy walking down the street undressing a woman with his eyes. Society might not like that, but the id, it doesn't listen to society. And then there's the ego, and that mediates between those raw desires in this schema, and the necessities of being civilized. So the civilization is the superego, and the id is just the wild nature, and the ego has to try to, according to this schema, try to navigate a difficult path between those two forces. That's the way that I see this. I don't know if it's really helpful to think that way, except for a short time. As far as having a Freudian analysis, I wouldn't recommend that at all. I don't think that Freud really healed a lot of people. I think he was a theoretician, and a lot of people got involved in Freudian analysis, but I don't know how many of them actually attained the kind of freedom that you have been asking about. I think our situation improves by thinking psychologically, but not imagining that we are really ruled by psychology. There's other forces that are not psychological. They're the forces of actual being. I mean, there's a level of being that's, see, this is very hard. I've approached it now. I don't know if I should. I won't continue. Let's go on. What's the next question?